Will we finally discover what Tigresss truly feels for Po in her heart? Or could it be true that some past villains will actually become heroes in Kung Fu Panda 4? Kung Fu Panda is DreamWorks' biggest movie of 2024, and it needs to provide answers to many questions left open in the previous 3 films, as well as numerous mysteries that arose with the release of the trailer. We've compiled 10 questions that will be answered in the 4th installment of the cutest Kung Fu master in history. Where are the Furious 5? This is undoubtedly one of the biggest questions for any Kung Fu Panda fan after watching the trailer for Po's 4th movie, as we don't see any of the Furious 5, even briefly, in any scene. Everyone knows that the warrior team of the Jade Palace is led by Po himself. However, at the end of the 3rd film, in addition to being the Dragon Warrior, Po also becomes the Master of Chi, which brings additional responsibilities and might distance him from the group always on missions to protect the villagers of the Valley of Peace and its surroundings. Because of these details, and the absence of the 5 characters in the initial promotional materials, many started theorizing that they might not appear in the film. Responding to questions about the Furious 5, Mike Mitchell, director of Kung Fu Panda, stated, "Every character you remember will return, and some villains I can't reveal." This implies that the 5 martial arts masters will be in the new movie, supporting Po in his missions, as they are obliged to fight alongside the Dragon Warrior, leading us to another question: who will be the next Dragon Warrior? It's always been believed that if Po were to cease being the Dragon Warrior, Tigresss would be the most likely candidate, particularly as she's the best fighter among the Furious 5. But we must remember that the criteria for this position are not guided by these details, but by destiny, as stated by Master Oogway to Po at the end of the 3rd film. Remembering that Po didn't even know Kung Fu when he was chosen to be the Dragon Warrior. Thus, it seems Po will rely more on his heart and intuition than reason to choose his successor. Hence, the introduction of the thieving fox Zen and her prominence in the movie suggests she might become the Dragon Warrior, while Po will remain the Master of Wisdom in the Valley of Peace. Of course, this is just a theory, and the movie will definitely reveal the next Dragon Warrior. Some even believe Tai Lung could assume the mantle, raising the question, will Tai Lung be one of the heroes? You might think this makes no sense, but let us explain. Tai Lung fighting against the lizard guards of the Chameleon, the villain of Kung Fu Panda 4, doesn't necessarily mean he's turned good. But when he is brought from the spirit world by the evil sorceress, he's enveloped in a golden aura. So far, only 2 other characters in the franchise have displayed this: Po and Master Oogway. Not everyone in the spirit world has this golden aura, as Master Kai, who was there for many years, didn't have it. This suggests that only good masters possess this mystical aura. It might mean that Tai Lung, after being imprisoned in a jade stone by Master Kai in the spiritual world, may have spent some time with Master Oogway and finally embraced the path of peace and honor, becoming worthy. We believe we're also worthy of your subscription. Click the button below so we can continue creating videos like this every day. Continuing with Tai Lung, with the threat of the Chameleon, it wouldn't be absurd if he, now completely renewed, helped Po fight the Chameleon and her army of evil lizards. Seeing this would blow minds, yet it would be less surprising than other questions you'll see here. For example, will Lord Shin appear? Remember Mike Mitchell's statement that some villains will appear? He certainly didn't use the plural without reason, as the film's synopsis mentions the Chameleon acquiring the power to bring masters from the spirit world, like Tai Lung. But, as we also noticed, at some point the sorceress will take possession of the Staff of Wisdom that Po received from Master Oogway. This might give her the power to bring masters from the world of the dead. And here's where Lord Shin, the franchise's most evil villain, could reappear. There's a theory that his shadow appears in the trailer in front of the Chameleon, which, if confirmed, will make Po's mission nearly impossible, especially after the sorceress steals the Kung Fu of the Dragon Warrior as we see her transform into Po, leading us to another question. Will Po need to relearn Kung Fu? Yes, Po will have his Kung Fu stolen by the villain, just like Tai Lung. It's not yet confirmed if they will completely lose their fighting abilities and need to relearn Kung Fu, or if they will retain their skills, with the villain merely having a copy of them. But if Po loses his martial talents, he will have to embark on a hero's journey to relearn being the Dragon Warrior once more before passing on the title and to defeat the evil sorceress. That would be quite a spectacle, especially if he does it alongside Tai Lung. And it's even better if it's alongside Tigresss, don't you think? Leading to another question that the 4th film will have to answer once and for all. Will Po and Tigresss finally date? Indeed, if you're not yet rooting for this couple, it's probably because you haven't watched any of the movies. That's because Po is Tigress's biggest fan, and it's pretty obvious that she cares a lot for the adorable panda too. And if you've watched the Kung Fu Panda animated series, you've certainly noticed that there are many moments suggesting their relationship is more than just friendship. There's definitely a deeper feeling between them. Remember, the series is set between the first and second movies. This means much more could have happened between the second and third movies, and also between Kung Fu Panda 3 and the 2024 release. So, it's only fair that in this movie, we, the fans of the couple, finally see their relationship blossom. Recall that Kung Fu Panda will have 6 movies, and if they truly get together, we might even see cute mixed cubs of the couple. Imagine that. It would be amazing if it happened. Will we see details of Tigress's past? Speaking of Tigresss, another question that surely deserves a more thorough answer is, what exactly happened in the warrior's past? We know that she was raised by Shifu and trained in martial arts from a young age because she was an orphan. But everyone thought Po was an orphan too, only to discover his father was alive and there was a hidden village full of pandas. This could imply that there are also secrets surrounding Tigresss that could be revealed in this 4th movie. Remember, like Po, we don't see any other tigers in the films and towns, making her quite unique. Knowing her past would definitely be cool and bring new elements to the Kung Fu Panda plot. I'm a fan of Tigresss and would love to see this. If you also enjoy the warrior from the Jade Palace and her fighting skills, comment below, #Tigress. Is Po's mother alive? Since we mentioned Po's father, another big question hanging in the air is whether Po's mother survived the attack by Lord Shin 20 years earlier to prevent the prophecy against him. This is intriguing because while it's implied she's dead, we never see her resting place, suggesting she might be alive somewhere in China, possibly having lost her memory and not remembering she had a husband and son. Therefore, perhaps at the end of the movie, we'll see something related to this, possibly even linking to a 5th Kung Fu Panda movie. Wouldn't it be incredible if this happened? Will Master Oogway reappear? This is another doubt, especially after the trailer scene where Po is seen smiling at a whirlwind of pink leaves entering his open mouth. Many believe Po's joy is because somehow Master Oogway is appearing once again to save the Dragon Warrior with his amazing advice. So, the question remains whether the wise turtle appears again or if DreamWorks has truly given the old fighter a final vacation. Will Po definitively leave the Valley of Peace? Finally, the first scene of the trailer leaves a very intriguing doubt, as we see Po fighting a flying stingray on a pier, and we know that there are no rivers or seas in the Valley of Peace. This could mean that it's a scene from the end of the movie. After everything, where we see Po following his path of wisdom and master of Qi, traveling to various places and learning new things to improve his kung fu. He might be in a coastal city like the one dominated by the chameleon, protecting its citizens. All this would indicate that Po is on a pilgrimage and has left the Valley of Peace to follow the path of wisdom. At least for now, until he feels like eating his father's noodles again. Kung Fu Panda is simply amazing and so much fun. And because we want you to keep having fun, we've left these 2 videos for you to choose one, click, and continue the enjoyment.